Hey, what's up, everyone? This is the FISTICUFFS podcast. FISTICUFFS. It is Friday, February 28th, and we are here live. I said, we are here live. Are we live? Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, Friday, February 28th. Hope everyone's having a beautiful day. We are here to discuss a few topics. We got some good ones today, guys. We got some good ones today. We got the Wilder Fury 2 fight. We got the UFC Fight Night 168, Hooker versus Feldman. And then we have some breaking news on this Saturday night's front for the featherweight title. We'll get to that in the podcast. So yeah, we got a couple good things to talk about, a lot of good things to analyze and discuss, and we'll get to it in just a hot minute right after this break, everyone. All right, here we go. And we're back. Oh, what's up, guys? This podcast is sponsored by GovX.com for all your needs on all discounted rates for all products that are military, law enforcement, tactical style. You have your Under Armours, you have EOTech, you have Vortex Optics, and for everyone that's also in love with Yetis, we have Yetis as well, all for a discounted price. If you are law enforcement or military or first responder, go to GovX.com and sign up. Have your department ID on file, send it over to GovX, and then you get your GovX sign-in. Again, GovX, guys, if you're a first responder, military, law enforcement, check it out. Go to GovX.com, sign up, and get your discounted rates today. Under Armour, Yeti, Vortex Optics, EOTech, you name it, they got it. Check it out, guys. GovX.com. All right. So now, shit, is it cold outside? It's still cold outside, right? Yeah, I don't know. I can't wait for spring. That's for damn sure, guys. I don't know. We're about to be in March, guys. I can't believe we're about to be in March. Holy shit. That is crazy to think about, that we will soon be in March. That's nuts. We have spring right around the corner. Spring is right around the corner. It's going to get nice. We got baseball season that just started, spring training. That's good too. Thank God for that. I don't know if you guys are baseball fans like me, but I'm excited about that. I can't wait. I'm excited that spring training's here. It just means that opening day is just around the corner. So that's exciting. I'm pumped, man. I am pumped. I hate the winter. I don't know. We got lucky this year because there hasn't been much snow or anything like that. But, man, I can't stand the cold. I can't. I'm not one for the cold at all. But anyways, so we are here to discuss a couple things. So I want to know how many people watched the Wilder Fury 2 fight. Damn. I wonder. That was probably the most pay-per-view buys that they had in a long time for boxing. Since probably the first fight against Wilder and Fury. Freaking insane. What did you guys think of the fight? Yeah? I don't know. It estimated that it brought in 850,000 buys. That's not too bad. For that sake, that's not too bad. Not bad at all. 800 to 850,000. That's not too shabby. That's pretty good, actually. For a boxing fight, yeah, that's pretty good. And then the UFC fight nights, UFC 168, UFC Fight Night 168, Hooker Feldman, that was free. So, not much to show there in that sense, but because they were free on UFC or on Fox Sports. So let's talk about it, guys. Let's talk about what's getting here. Let's talk about the first. We're gonna talk about the UFC fight main event, and then we're gonna get into the Wilder Fury, and then we're gonna get into some of the breaking news that happened today. Breaking news in the featherweight division, okay, in the UFC. So let's dive right into it. All right. So the main fight for Saturday in the UFC event was Fight Night 168. That was Paul Felder and Dan Hooker. Why do I keep calling him Feldman? I don't know. Weird. Anyways, Felder and Hooker, that was the main event. The co-main was Jimmy Crute and Michael Ozjierczyk. Oh, I completely butchered that name. But co-main event, Jimmy Crute won in the first round by submission. That boy was pretty much dominating that whole entire fight. He wrestled. He grappled and wrestled the whole entire time. I don't think they really struck much. There was really no striking involved. There was a lot of him just taking him down, controlling him on the ground, and then submitted him via Kimura, I believe. I mean, honestly, a good fight for Jimmy Crute. He executed a great game plan. He stuck to the wrestling and grappling, and he came out with a submission by Kimura. So that was a good co-main event in that sense. The fights overall were they were okay. A couple decisions. One there was three decisions, one knockout, and one submission. So if you're just a fight fan looking for knockouts, not really much to see there. For everyone else who's watching the fights, just to enjoy the excitement, I guess you guys got your money's worth out of that. But majority, it was a decent fight card, nothing too crazy. The biggest one was the lightweight. There was the lightweight division in the main event, the Paul Felder Dan Hooker fight. That fight, man, that was an exciting fight, guys. That was an exciting fight, man. I'm telling you right now, two top-ranked lightweights just going at it. Felder just a little ranked higher than Hooker. This was a perfect fight for Hooker. This really, I would say definitely jumped into the cause of fighting a couple of higher ranked lightweights in the future. We'll get to that in a little bit, but yeah, man, the Paul Felder and Dan Hooker fight, man, that was really, really good. It was a really solid fight. I think the biggest thing with that fight, man, was that there were just two guys going at it. They were striking, man. They were freaking unleashing on each other. The fight was close too, I gotta admit. There was 5 rounds. It wasn't a title fight, but because it was the main event on a fight night fight card, we had 5 rounds. But yeah, man, I'm telling you, this fight was really good. This fight definitely stacked up to be exactly what it was hyped to be. And the fact that these two guys went at it the way that they did, they put on a show in New Zealand. It was incredible, man. It was incredible. Dan Hooker came out victorious via decision, which is fair. It was definitely, I mean, if you guys saw the fight, it was definitely a fair fight for sure. These guys were going at it. I would say Hooker won the first round. Hooker won the second round. I think Feldman won the third and fourth. Feldman. There we go. I gotta say Feldman. Felder won the third and fourth, I would say. And that fifth round, it came down to the wire on that fifth round, man. Those two were going at it. I think what really executed the decisive win for Hooker was the fact that he was able to get a couple more takedowns. Definitely the one in the fifth, with like a minute left in the round, he executed a takedown and was successful. I think that really solidified his win. But Felder was coming in, man. He was coming with strikes, landing heavy right hands that were just absolutely hurting Hooker. But these two warriors, man, they were fighting hard. It was a well fought fight. It really was. Each round was close, man. It was close. You really rank the rounds by total strikes landed or even significant strikes. But like I said, Hooker was more aggressive in terms of the wrestling. He had a few more takedowns than Felder did, and I think in the eyes of the judges that was a big deal. And I think that's what really won it for him is the takedowns. I mean, especially in that fifth round with a minute left, I think that takedown was really, really important. Because I think Felder was winning that round up until that point. Hooker also had some pretty good shots. They were trading blows for the most part. I think Felder probably had a little more advantage up until the takedown. I think the takedown definitely solidified the win, in my opinion. But it was a solid fight, man. It was a solid fight. You had Hooker, who's a top-ranked lightweight. Paul Felder, who's also another top-ranked lightweight. These guys were just going at it, man. Just going at it. And it was good. It was a solid fight. And I honestly think the judges got it right. I know there was in the Dominic Reyes John Jones fight. I know there was a whole bunch of heat coming out of that because of the judges and everything like that. But I think this time around, honestly, New Zealand, Hooker being the hometown favorite, I think that also had an advantage in its own as well, being a hometown kid. Or a hometown favorite. I think the judges definitely probably also might have leaned to that side as well. But for the most part, it was well deserved. It was a well deserved win. It could have gone either way, but like I said, these guys really put it in there in the fights, and I think it was a solid fight. It really was. Hooker came in there fighting. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. So I think it was a solid fight. I really do. Now, I believe Felder was really. I'm pretty sure he retired at the end of that fight. I'm pretty sure something he hinted at it. I understand he's a family guy. I know he has a son. So if that is the case and Felder does retire or did retire after this fight, man, God bless. Solid fucking career. Solid career, man. Really, really a solid career. Wish nothing but the best. You're an excellent analyst, anyways. Honestly. You're probably one of the best analysts in the game right now. So, you might, honestly, might as well, just so you could be around your kids more. You don't have to worry about training. But yeah, Felder, congratulations to you. Excellent career. Hard fight on Saturday night. That was a hard fight. You came out, you did the best you can do. It really could have gone either way. I definitely think that the biggest thing was the fact that they were a New Zealand hometown favorite. Hooker might have done a little more, but felt that was a great fight, though. That was a great fight. So, if it is your retirement, if you're done, congratulations on a hard-fought career. That's awesome. I'm happy for you. And let's look to the future and see what the future holds. Moving on to Hooker now. So Hooker, I think he's around number 7 in the rankings. Probably give or take a couple, but with that win over Felder, it definitely jumps him up to top rank contention. I think you kind of have to go now. For Hooker, I would like to see a Dustin Poirier or Justin Gaethje fight next. I think both fights are huge. That's also depending if Poirier and Gaethje don't fight each other. But I definitely think that Hooker fighting either Poirier or Gaethje is huge. You got Poirier, who's ranked 2 at probably ranked 3. He's ranked 2 at lightweight, and then you got Justin Gaethje, that's around number 4, give or take. But if Hooker fights one of those guys, I think the better matchup will be against Gaethje, or not Gaethje. I'm sorry, Poirier. I think a good solid matchup will be against Poirier. Those two would probably strike it out, I would imagine. Poirier being a southpaw, he's an excellent striker. I know Hooker's also a pretty solid striker as well. The only thing is I would say about Hooker is I'm not sure how effective his ground game is, especially up against Poirier, but I definitely think Dustin could handle business against Hooker, but at the same time, I definitely believe that Hooker and Poirier are probably a better matchup for him. Now, if Gaethje gets involved and it's Hooker versus Gaethje, man, Gaethje's just a different animal, man. He's a different animal. I don't know, man. Gaethje's he's no joke. Justin Gaethje's no joke, man. He's only 30 years old, roughly. I just think, I don't know, man. I like to see Gaethje. I think Gaethje's due for a championship title bout. We'll see what happens with the Khabib Ferguson fight, and obviously with McGregor, depending on what he does. But I honestly think that, and stylistically, Gaethje and Hooker, I think Hooker would not match up great with Gaethje. I think he would probably match up better with Dustin Poirier, but Gaethje's a freak, man. I think if Hooker goes up against Gaethje, he's gonna have a tough one to deal with for sure. I mean, even Poirier. I'm not saying Poirier ain't no slouch either. Poirier is a freak of nature as well. But I just think stylistically, I think Hooker would do better against Poirier. Justin Gaethje, again, he's just a different animal, man. He's just a different animal. Justin Gaethje's a freak. He's got a lot of power in that right hand. He's really good on the ground. I definitely think that Justin Gaethje would be a much, much harder fight for sure for Hooker. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we'll see what happens. I think either way, Hooker's is going to have a tough one on his hands. Beating Paul Felder definitely rose him up into the ranks of against one of those two guys. You're talking about a number 2 versus a number 4. So yeah, I mean, I definitely think that Justin Gaethje against Hooker, I think Hooker will have a hard time against Gaethje. Again, not saying that Poirier is a slouch. I just think stylistically Hooker matches up better with Poirier. The fight that I would like to see, me personally, is Justin Gaethje. I think Justin Gaethje's due. I think he's been on the sidelines enough when it comes to top rank contention in the lightweight division. I think Justin Gaethje's due. And I think it's time. If he doesn't fight Hooker, I think Gaethje should most definitely fight Poirier for sure. I don't think a Gaethje-McGregor fight's going to happen. I don't know what McGregor's doing. I think he wants to stay at welterweight. I mean, I really don't know. But he's also down to do anything else, so he can make weight. It doesn't matter. He can make weight at lightweight and he can make weight at featherweight. McGregor really does not. It does not matter for him. And obviously, he can make weight at welterweight as well. So you have a guy that could go through the weight classes like that. Is pretty impressive. We'll just have to wait and see how things kind of match up, I guess. I think a big telltale sign is going to be the whole Khabib Ferguson fight. I think that's going to be huge. We'll see how that plays out. I think that fight is going to be an excellent fight. I think Tony Ferguson's going to have a lot on his hands, but So is Khabib, man. I think Tony Ferguson is really going to pour it on to Khabib. If Khabib thinks that he's just go in there and do what he did to McGregor and just be able to wrestle with him, and Tony Ferguson not do anything about it, yeah, Khabib, you're in for a rude awakening. My money is on Ferguson for that fight. I honestly think that Khabib is going to suffer his first defeat. And I really think that Ferguson's going to win that fight 100%. If they're both healthy and they're both going into that fight, I think that Ferguson's going to win that fight. I'll have to edit that out. So yeah, that's the biggest thing there. Also, we're going to have to see what happens with Conor McGregor. Like I said, who knows what he's going to do. We'll see what his next fights are. It might depend on the whole Khabib-Ferguson fight. Or it could depend on something else entirely. See how the welterweights match up and see what happens there. But again, I think it's important that we figure out that stuff first before we get into the whole Justin Gaethje and who he's going to fight next. Like I said, other than that, ideally I think Justin Gaethje-Hooker would be a good fight. But I think the fight to see would be Gaethje-Poirier. And then I would say that Hooker should get the fight between whoever wins that bout. And then whoever wins that fight should be lined up to be the number one rank in the lightweight division, depending on how everything else goes. But that's just the way I see it. That's my opinion on it. That's what I think. I think it's important for Justin Gaethje. Like I said, I think he's been on the sidelines long enough. I think it's his time to shine, and I believe that he can do it. You know, he's no slouch. He's a hell of a competitor. He's an animal. He's a different kind of animal. He's got power in that right hand. Stylistically, he matches up pretty well. I know he has a knockout win against Cerrone, amongst others, and the lightweight division, big time guys too. So he's definitely no slouch, and I think it's important to see what happens. But I would definitely think that if not Hooker versus Gaethje or Poirier versus Gaethje, then you got to do Gaethje Poirier, and then the winner of that fight will go up against Hooker, or Hooker will fight whoever wins that bout, and then that'll determine who's going to be the number one contender for that lightweight title. But we'll see what happens, you know, because you still got tough studs like Kevin Lee and Al Iaquinta. Those guys and then obviously Edson Barboza. Those guys. Kevin Lee, he's also a top name guy. He just recently beat Iaquinta. I know he has a fight coming up at a future fight night. I'm not sure exactly which one, but I know he does have a fight coming up, a hard fight. So Kevin Lee's another big boy. He's a young stud, 27, but he's rising through. So we'll see what happens with Kevin Lee. But yeah, I think, like I said, I think the biggest thing, Justin Gaethje coming out, seeing what happens with them, see what the UFC does. I think it's important to see how they fare, and obviously with Hooker winning against Felder's is a big deal too. So we'll see what happens. But like I said before, if Gaethje doesn't fight Poirier, I think Hooker Poirier or Hooker Gaethje has got to be done. One of those two fights have to happen. I would love to see a Hooker Gaethje, but I think stylistically Hooker Poirier would match up better. Because I just think that's just a fight to make or to see. But the Gaethje fight, I think, is the fight to make, in my opinion. So yeah, so there's a whole bunch of moving pieces, and that lightweight division, man, is fucking stacked, man. The lightweight division is fucking stacked. Fucking stacked, man. Khabib, Ferguson, Poirier, Conor McGregor if he drops weight, Justin Gaethje, Cowboy Cerrone, Paul Felder, depending on if he's retiring or not, Kevin Lee, Hooker, Al Iaquinta, and Edson Barboza, man. So those are your top 10 guys. I mean, there's more. You got Michael Johnson in there too. Michael Johnson, I know he's kind of been off, but I think he's got a fight coming up soon. That's another tough stud, southpaw. But yeah, man. I mean, it's the lightweight division is stacked, man. Stacked. So we'll see what happens. we'll see what happens. We got the whole year to go, but we'll see. We'll see how everything shapes out. Again, it's important. We got to figure out what's going to happen with this whole Khabib Ferguson fight coming up in April, and I think we'll get an idea at that time what Hooker is going to be doing in terms of who he's going to be fighting in the future. So, speaking of pay-per-view fights, we have a big one next week, March 7th, Saturday night. Pay-per-view, ESPN Plus. If you guys have ESPN Plus, check it out. It's going to be a big fight. Big fight. We got two middleweights going at it. Okay? Two middleweights going at it. We have Israel Adesanya, who is the champion, and we have Yoel Romero, who is the contender. Stylistically, this is going to be a great fight. A really great fight. I think it's going to be an awesome fight. I'm very excited to see this fight. This fight has actually got me really excited. I think it's going to be one of those fights that's just going to go. It could honestly go either way. But it's really important for Israel Adesanya to obviously keep his composure and to definitely keep his distance too. Just utilize his strikes. Yoel Romero's a big guy. He's a big stud. He's got power too. But I think this fight is going to be a striking fight, guys. This is going to be a fight where someone might get knocked out. I believe that for 100% fact. I think these two guys are going to stand and trade, and they're gonna really see who's going to be the best man. Come Saturday night on March 7th, these guys are really going to throw down. Stylistically, I think Israel's more fancier. He's got a little more precision in his strikes. Kind of reminds me more of like an Anderson Silva fighter. But yeah, Israel Adesanya is a big deal, man. He's a big deal. And obviously Yoel Romero is too, but he's had some issues in the past, not making weight. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, I think we shouldn't have any issues this time around, but in all intents and purposes, the fight I think is going to be a really big fight. I think it's going to be one of the best middleweight fights in a while since Adesanya fought Whittaker to officially win the title in Melbourne, or not Melbourne? Was it Melbourne? Was it somewhere in Australia? I think it was Melbourne. I don't remember. I think it was Melbourne, not Sydney. Yeah, it was Melbourne because it was at Marvel Stadium. So. And Adesanya is on a win streak, obviously. His last three fights beat Anderson Silva, beat Kevin Gastelum, and beat Robert Whittaker. Silva was a decision. Gastelum was a decision up until that fifth round. And if they had any more time, I think it would have been a knockout. But that fight was insane. And then a knockout win against Whittaker. So Adesanya is coming off some high-level names, man. High-level names to beat, for sure. Yoel Romero is right in front of him, and I believe that. I think if you're going to bet money on this fight, bet money on Adesanya winning. I think that would be a smart choice, a good choice, a safe choice. I think Adesanya is going to beat Romero. So if you guys are looking to place bets on that fight, Vegas odds or anything like that, Adesanya is going to be the one to pick. Don't kill me if that does not come true, please. But yeah, that's gonna be a fun fight to watch. You have a co-main event for another title in the women's strawweight divisions. It's Joanna Jędrzejczyk and Weili Zhang. I don't know. That's going to be a good fight. Zhang's the champion at the women's strawweight division. Joanna Jędrzejczyk is looking to recapture her gold. That's going to be a good fight to watch. We'll see how that pans out. But yeah, guys, that big fight, Israel Adesanya, Yoel Romero, that's going to be a huge fight. It's going to be an excellent fight. Stylistically, they're going to stand and trade. I think definitely know that Adesanya has more of a advantage. He's definitely taller, and I would say definitely has more of a reach advantage. I think it's going to be a good fight, man. I think it's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a striking match. They're both going to go at it. So look to that fight to end in a knockout. For sure. So that's UFC 248, guys. March 7th, Saturday, March 7th, 10 o'clock p.m. on pay-per-view, ESPN Plus. Check it out. Israel Adesanya, Yoel Romero. It's going to be a big fight in the middleweight division. And then you have, in the co-main event, the women's strawweight, Joanna Jędrzejczyk versus Weili Zhang. I don't know how to say her name. I apologize. That's going to be a good fight in the women's division, too. Those are two tough chicks. Two tough girls, sorry. They're definitely gonna put on a show as well. So, all right, guys, that's UFC 248. Saturday, March 7th, 10 o'clock p.m. Pay-per-view, ESPN Plus. Check it out. Watch it. I think it's gonna be a good fight. If you guys would place any bets on the main event, I'd put my money on Israel Adesanya, guys. That's just me, but. Again, don't kill me if that doesn't happen. So, now, moving on. Last thing for the UFC. So, breaking news today. Guys, breaking news today. We have a huge problem in the featherweight division. Sorry for that awkward pause. So we have a huge issue in the flyweight division. Okay, we have a fight night coming up tomorrow night, UFC 169. It's Joseph Benavidez versus Deiveson Figueiredo. Figueiredo has not. I repeat, he did not make weight. That's the breaking news. He did not make weight. So, what that means for the open featherweight title, okay, which Henry Cejudo had to drop after winning the bantamweight. Joseph Benavidez, if he shall win, will become the next featherweight champion. If Joseph Benavidez loses and Deiveson Figueiredo wins, he will not become champion. It's just the stakes that come along with title fights, especially interim title fights. If the fighters who are competing for the title if one of them does not make weight, or if both of them don't make weight, then they do not get the chance at the shot at the title. So in this case, Deiveson did the same. He did not make weight. So unfortunately, if he does win tomorrow night, he will not be featherweight champion. However, if Joseph Benavidez does come out victorious, he will be the new featherweight champion. Breaking news today. That's a huge deal. Joseph Benavidez, if he wins, will be the next UFC featherweight champion of the world. So, we'll see what happens. In that case, we'll see what happens. I think Benavidez is going to win that fight anyways, in my opinion. But I mean, it sucks for Figueiredo, man. It's an unfortunate situation. I mean, you're a professional fighter. There's no reason why you should be not making weight, obviously, unless there's something going on in his personal life, which kind of hinders some things. But overall, definitely not something that should be happening as a professional fighter. But unfortunately, these things do happen. I think it's like the third or fourth time it's happened. So it doesn't happen often, but unfortunately, it did happen this time around. And, yeah, so, unfortunately, if he wins, he will not become the next champion. The title will just remain vacant. If Benavidez wins, he will become the next featherweight champion. And we'll see what happens. But tomorrow night, guys. UFC Fight Night 169, Benavidez versus Figueiredo. That fight is free on Fox or ESPN Plus if you guys have it. Check it out. But I think it's going to be a solid fight. I think it's a fight that Benavidez will win. Benavidez is just due. Joseph Benavidez is just due to win. So I think that's going to be a solid fight. So check that out, guys. Tomorrow night, UFC Fight Night 169. Saturday night, it's going to be February 29th. Check it out. It starts at 8 o'clock p.m. That's, again, UFC 169 Fight Night. Tomorrow night, February 29th, 2020 at 8 o'clock p.m. Check it out, all right? Benavidez, Figueiredo, UFC featherweight title. If Figueiredo wins, he will not get the title. If Benavidez wins, then he will be the next champion. All right, guys, so now moving on. We have, the main event of our talk. Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder 2. So, what did you guys think of that fight? Send me your thoughts, comments below. I thought that fight was exactly how I called it. I pretty much knew how that fight was going to go down. I called a knockout win by Fury within the first round, rounds 1 through 9 in my last podcast. In one of those rounds, 1 through 9, Fury's going to win via knockout. Fury won by TKO in the 7th round. Wilder came into that fight. Fury came into the fight. Both Fury seemingly a lot more relaxed compared to Wilder. But Fury got the knockdown early in the round, and earlier in one of the first few rounds. And then after that knockdown, you could tell that Wilder was not the same at all. Wilder was just not the same. He just looked like he was just in survival mode. Fury smelled blood. He knew that was there, and he just kept unloading. Round by round, just absolutely dominating each round. Going up into that 7th round, and then finally was able to get the victory, the TKO victory, which is a big deal. It's huge, That's a huge win for Fury, especially after the first fight ending in a draw. To come out this time around with all the hype surrounding it and all the mass media and, like I said, all the hype going around with this fight, and the fact that Fury came in there overweight, mind you. He came in there heavier than his first time. And I think there's a science to that, guys. I've been around the game for a long time. Ideally, that's not something that you would want to do. But they're heavyweights. I think there was a reason for him to come in at a heavier weight than last time. And I think it was so that he had more knockout power. I think that was the biggest thing for him. I think he wanted more power. So he came in a little heavier. I think it was like 25 to 30 pounds heavier. But I think there was a reason why he went in there heavier. And I think that reason was to be able to have knockout power. And sure shit, first couple rounds, lands with a clean right cross, clean straight to the face. Wilder goes down. You could just tell that fucked Wilder up. And need I say more? For the rest of the fight, Fury was just putting a hurting on Wilder, and obviously you could tell that Wilder something was just not right. It looked like he just looked messed up, and then he was bleeding from the ear, which was caused from the knockdown from the earlier rounds. I thought he had like something was wrong with his eardrum or something could have happened. But his equilibrium was definitely fucked up. I thought he could have been concussed as well. But you could just tell that his equilibrium was fucked up, and he just wasn't the same, man. That guy was bleeding from his ear. Just it was good for the corner to throw in the towel for his fighter. I know that obviously Wilder said after the fight that he wanted to go out as a warrior, But, sometimes it ain't worth dying in that ring. Shit happens, obviously, but it's just, it's better to protect your fighter. So I agree with that call on the corners of Wilder. The head trainer, I think it was a smart choice to throw in the towel. It was just because Wilder was just taking too much punishment, and you could just tell that something was wrong with him. He just wasn't the same. He kept his movement was like off balance. You just knew his balance wasn't there. That something was wrong. So good. It was definitely a good choice on the trainer spot to throw in the towel for him, for sure, in that fight, because like I said, it just wasn't. It just didn't look good. It just didn't look good, and Fury was fucking him up. So it was definitely a smart choice. But congratulations to Fury on that fight. That fight was amazing. Lived up to the hype. It really did. I'm happy. I called it within the first 9 rounds. I called the KO. And I called it, and I pretty sure I even said it was going to be a knockout within rounds 6 through 8. I originally called 1 through 9, obviously, in one of those rounds, but then I was asked a more direct approach to when the knockout was going to happen, and I mentioned 6 through 9. So I said it was going to happen either 6, 7, 8 rounds. So sure enough, it ended up in the 7th round. Good call by me, but it was a good fight, man. It was a great fight, great fight. I definitely want to talk about the antics before and after this fight. You could just see in the highlights or in the views when you're watching the fight, Fury was very, very relaxed. He was just he was just in a different world, man. Fury was just in a different world. I feel like Fury was having fun, where Wilder was a little more serious. And obviously, having fun is the way to do it. Clears your mind up. Kind of just go out there and do your thing. That's what Fury did. He went out there, did his thing, and ended up TKOing Wilder. Wilder, on the other hand, I don't know. He came in with that costume, or that fucking Mortal Kombat looking fucking thing, and a fucking. Apparently, after the fight, so 2 things. After the fight, he said that he was going through some shit leading up to this fight, which, if that is true, hopefully everything is okay. Hopefully, whatever was going on, he was able to conquer and handle. Hopefully, it was just a distraction and nothing serious after it. But he said he did come out in an interview after the fight saying that there was something going on that was leading up to the fight, which obviously affected him, according to him. But another thing that he said, and this was like a day or 2 later, or 3 days later, or some shit like that. But this motherfucker said that the costume that he wore to the ring on fight night was 40 fucking pounds, man. 40 pounds. Are you fucking kidding me? 40 fucking pounds? Really? Like, dude, no fucking way. First of all, why the fuck are you wearing 40 pounds worth of fucking equipment to go down to a boxing ring for a boxing fight? Are you fucking dumb? Secondly, why the fuck are you even making that as an excuse, you dumb fuck? Like, you literally did that to yourself, you fucking idiot. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Dude. Like, what are you doing? I don't know. You can't even make that. You can't even say that shit was an excuse that your legs were dead going into that fight because you decided to wear 40 pounds of fucking clothes. You fuck. Come on, man. Are you kidding me, dude? Like, what? Bro, what are you thinking, dude? You're wearing 40 pounds worth of equipment and you're going to a fucking fight? I just don't think that's smart. I don't think it's smart, and I don't think it's smart to use that as an excuse either. I don't know. That's just, I mean, how long were you fucking wearing that thing for, dude? Like 40 minutes? Like, how long were you wearing it before you went down to the fucking ring? You know what I mean? 30 minutes? Like, yeah, wearing 40 pounds of weight, I could imagine that fucking killing your legs to a degree. But why would you do that? You know you have a big fight ahead of you. Why do you think you had to come out looking all fucking intimidating like some fucking psycho out of Mortal Kombat? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it, man. I think it was stupid for you to fucking wear that thing. And I think it was fucking even more stupid to fucking come out and say that your legs were shot because you decided to wear fucking 40 pounds worth of fucking clothes. Like, dude, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, stop. Just stop. Alright? Fury caught you clean with a straight. You went down. It literally fucking connected on your jaw, man. You could have been wearing fucking 10 pounds of fucking weight and you still would have got fucking knocked down. You know what I mean? Like, stop. Fucking ridiculous. Can't believe you'd come out fucking publicly and say that you wore 40 pounds of fucking equipment and your legs were shot. Your legs weren't there. Like, stop. Stop. You got fucked up, man. He nailed you clean with the fucking straight to your jaw. You fucking went down. You weren't the same. That's it. Done. Fucking coming out saying that you... Like, stop. Stop. Are you looking for excuse? I get it. If you had personal shit going on into that fight and that caused you some shit, fine. After that, though, stop it. Stop coming up with excuses, man. Stop coming up with excuses because it ain't working. It ain't fucking working. You know what I mean? Because that's just fucking stupid. That's completely on you. You're the idiot. But you know what? It is what it is. I don't know. Whatever. Anyways. So. Now. We got Tyson Fury as a champ. I think there's a in the contract clause. I think there is a deciding third fight for Wilder if he chooses to execute his contract clause for a rematch. If he doesn't, and I think that the whole boxing world could agree with me on this. I would love to see a Tyson Fury Anthony Joshua fight. Man, that fight would be fucking amazing. That fight would fucking be great. The pay-per-view buys should be off the fucking hook, man. That fight, Fury Joshua, that's the fight to make. That's the fight next to have, man. That's the fight right there. Fury Joshua. That's the fight to make. If obviously Wilder doesn't execute his contract clause to have a third fight for a rematch, but Fury Joshua, that's the fight to have next. That is the fight to have next, and I think that fight is going to be a huge fight. That's probably one of boxing's biggest fights. Fury Joshua. That's going to be a huge fight. It's a fight that we'll all love to see. I can't wait. I hope that fight does happen soon. Hopefully the end of the year. We'll see how everything pans out with Wilder, but Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, that's the fight to make. That's the fight to see. That's the pay-per-view fight. That's the money fight. That's the fight that everyone wants right there. Fury Joshua. Oh, man, that fight would be amazing. That fight would be great. But, all right, guys. Thank you so much for listening to the FISTICUFFS podcast. You guys are great. Please follow me on Instagram, FISTICUFFS podcast. Follow me on YouTube. Like and subscribe. Comment. I'll be more than happy to interact with you guys. You guys are great. Please, thank you so much. Again, like and subscribe to my YouTube account. Follow me on Instagram at FISTICUFFS podcast. YouTube, FISTICUFFS. And that would be so amazing. Thank you guys again for listening. Thank you guys again so much. I appreciate it. Have a lovely day. Enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you so much. Take care, guys. Be good.